So it's Jack here with Razor's Edge. I'm joined by Alex Hurst of the mighty Boss Keloid. How you doing, mate?
Doing very well, sir. And the weather's making life a lot better.
It's bloody beautiful, isn't it? It's amazing.
It's
A
God.
sunny bank holiday for once. Who'd have thought it?
God.
So, for our audience who may not have heard Boss Keloid before, how would you describe the band?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was excited to ask you this one.
Bunch of fucking weirdos playing weird music is the best way to describe it.
Fantastic.
I think that's the way to describe it. It's obviously originated in rock, I guess, and the heavier side of things, but just a very strange band.
Quite eclectic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
I'd be inclined to agree. So let's talk about the new album, Family the Smiling Thrush. As a follow-up to Melted on the Inch, it sort of solidifies your prog rock rebirth, as it were, while still being, obviously, as you say, rooted in rock and the heavier side of things. So how did you sort of change up the creative process between Melted on the Inch and Family the Smiling Thrush?
Didn't change too much, to be honest. It was more a collective way of writing this time, I guess, where previously it'd be Steve the drummer, and Swab, the guitar player, just be throwing ideas around, and then we'd come in and try and make a song out of the craziness and whatnot. This has been a lot more of a collective effort, I guess. It's all been written by us all in the room at the same time. We've pieced every bit together with us all being there.
Fantastic.
So that's the only difference, really. Everything else has been the same. Like Swab will bring some crazy riff, and then we just jump on that, and then off we pop.
Fantastic. So, do you think the collaborative nature of it sort of helped you guys to bring in sort of those wider influences?
So yeah, it just made things not easier, but because you're all there, rather than someone working on something for 2 hours and then someone coming in going, "That's shit."
Yeah.
You could stop it straight away and say, "That's shit."
Put a stop to it straight away.
Yeah, but we're absolute nightmare when we write as well. We're very, very changing our minds all the time. So that's why it took so long as well to get it all pieced together, if you get me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you say that it took a while, but I'm fairly sure when we saw each other last, you said you were mostly done with the writing, which I don't think was that long after Melted on the Inch.
Yeah, that was that sleep gig.
Yeah, that's
sleep
the
gig.
One.
That was a good night, that one.
Yeah, it was bloody brilliant.
Yeah, but probably the music would have been pieced together slightly. Like this definitely will have definitely still been changes that will have occurred since then. But yeah, I don't think there's any vocals or anything at that point. But yeah, the music was more or less the
nailed on. Cool. So speaking about like the your collaborative process and your range of influences, Steve recently put out that Spotify playlist of bands that I assume you've all been listening to.
I mean, Steve's music taste is absolutely crazy. It'll go from one. We're all the same, to be honest. Like, I've got a Spotify list coming out soon, I think, and someone's doing a blog on it or something or other. But again, mine's just from dub reggae all the way to like Meshuggah and everything in between. There's all kinds of stuff. But yeah, Steve's very much into. I wouldn't say he's not into that much heavy stuff as me and Paul are, I guess, and Liam. But I mean, he was brought up on Metallica and stuff like that. But he's very much into jazz and like proper writers and James Taylor and stuff like that. And yeah.
So how do you guys then go about embracing all those influences? I think it's fair to say with like the newer direction. How do you embrace all that but still keep it focused in a Boss Keloid package, as it were?
I guess it's just not being bothered about trying something. Like, I guess when we first started, we were such a mental heavy band that if there was something that sounded a bit like Pixies and Rainbows, we were like, no. Whereas now we embrace the Pixies and the Rainbows. But just not being afraid to try absolutely anything. And
Fantastic.
like, going back to Steve, he's a ridiculous idea thrower. You'll be working through something, he'll just like, what about this? And he'll chuck something at you, and then you just think, what are you even going on about? And then you try it and you go, fucking hell, yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So just that's it. We've all just not afraid to take somebody else's idea on and try it and throw out ideas ourselves. So that, I think that's the best way for a band to be, really, rather than trying to make a certain sound.
Yeah.
I guess. Again, it's always rooted in heaviness. There's always got to be some beastly riffs that's without a doubt. But yeah, just throwing everything out and trying it.
Fantastic. Was it recorded at Fall Studios? Was that correct? Was Chris Field
Yeah, in December of last year. It was moved a couple of times, obviously, because COVID.
Yeah.
Managed to get the December slot in, and yeah, we did 12 days, I think, up there. We did. Right. And 3 or 4 of them days were just purely mixing as well. So we set a lot of time aside to make sure everything was sounding as we wanted it.
So you guys had quite an influence on the mixing process as well, then.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, we knew Chris is amazing at what he does. Chris is absolutely amazing at what he does. But Chris does usually have a certain sound he goes for.
Sure.
But we just said, listen, are we cool, like, taking what you do and going this way with it?
Okay.
And he was like, oh, let's go.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
That's the beauty of Chris. He's not afraid to try anything as well. He's so good to work with.
As you said, that fits in sort of perfectly with your band's approach then.
Well, yeah, because he's recorded the last 2 albums with us, so he knows what we're about now, and he knows we know what we want and whatnot. Like we went down a day early just to mess around with the drum sound. We spent just a full day just messing around with the kit, because that was something Steve wanted to do, and he's never been 100% happy with his drum sound, but this time we made sure everybody was coming out of this project like 100% happy.
Yeah, fantastic. To be fair, something that really caught me off listening to it, the toms sound absolutely incredible. So
amazing, man. We put a lot of room mics in. We close mic the kit and put a lot of room mics around the kit, and they weren't always in the mix, but on certain fills and stuff, you can just bring them room mic in, and everything just comes together. But yeah, I'm well happy with the way the kit sounds made, because I think it sounds incredible. He's captured it great.
Yeah, fantastic. And I mean, the whole thing sounds great, but obviously yourself being a guitarist, how did you find the guitar recording? Did you do anything particularly different, or?
I didn't know. We just did what we normally do. Chris, you don't have to mention anything to him when he's recording guitars. He knows how the cab, and then you just leave that to him, and 9 times out of 10, what he gets straight away, you're like, yeah, that's it. Fantastic. But no, I didn't do anything different really, other than using a couple of different maybe amps that we normally wouldn't have done that was available to us at 4.
Okay. Oh, very nice. Now the artwork. Yeah. It's different. Can you talk us about maybe the artist that you picked, or just shed a bit of light on it?
Well, Swab, our guitar player, put that together.
Oh, really?
He did Melted on the Inch as well. He's got an absolute eye for weirdness, because he's a but yeah, we just found some stock footage, photographs that you were able to use that was free. It was so high quality of bees, and just zoomed in on them, because you could zoom in incredibly close, and you'd took parts of a bee and put them on the top of another bee, and snip like a leg off one and put it on the head of another one, and made these little weird creatures. And then the thing in the middle that looks like a pork pie. Yeah. It's actually a bee pod, a real bee pod that they would fly in there and create honey and stuff like that. So, well, that was a great centerpiece. And then the 7 dudes cast off from that, which represent the 7 songs. So, but yeah, Paul put that together.
Oh, nice. So it's an album about bees then?
No, not necessarily. No.
No, of course.
We just the bee thing just clicked in well with what the album was about as well, like a community of people working towards something, and there's no better insect on the earth than bees that that work together to create something
and provide so much. Fantastic.
Honey, man. Honey is the golden syrup that laments my life, if that's a word. I live on honey.
Nice. What's your favourite song off the album?
Ooh. I really don't know, to be honest, man. I think track 1 is a really good journey. It's 9 minutes long, and it's just got a real good flow journey to it. And then at the end, it just erupts into an unreal riff. It's so I do like that one, but I like them all because they're like, it's like saying which is your favorite kid.
Yeah, sure. Oh, that's my next question scrapped off then.
Yeah.
How have you found joining Ripple Music, and is there potential for some stateside gigs perhaps now that you're with an American label?
Todd's been, so far he's been absolutely great with us, and he's been such a beauty to work with, and anything we've wanted, he's adjusted things so we're happy. So you can't ask for any more than that in a label. Yeah, there's been talk about he could help us get over there. Whether or not that's feasible at the minute, I do not know, but definitely something we're going to look at in the future.
Fantastic. I mean, I suppose
Ripple have been absolutely great. Yeah,
great. Well, like you say, I suppose we get back to gigging at gigs here first before we can even begin thinking about that.
I'm absolutely missing gigs at the minute, mate. It's all I do is attend gigs or play gigs, and not being able to do that for a good 12 months is
it's awful, isn't it?
It's just the thought of even playing a gig now. We just like, God, it's just like, what?
Yeah.
It's going to be an erotic experience when we play. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
You've got to control yourselves.
My head will definitely explode at some point.
Yeah. You've obviously got a very busy November of it because you're doing Damnation Festival and you've got your UK tour with Tuskar.
Yeah.
Any particular cities or gigs that you're excited for on that run?
All of them, to be honest. We've visited them all before, so we know people in them areas as well. So it'd be good to hook up with old friends and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's always good to play in Manchester as well because we're from Wigan, but we were birthed in Manchester, should you say? So I'm looking forward to the Manchester date, which is the last date. So we might be a bit fucked by then, to be honest. But I am looking forward to that one, just to play in your home city kind of a thing.
Of course, yeah, the final leg, the homecoming, the big celebration.
Yeah, we've not played in Manchester for a long time, even before COVID. I don't think we'd played Manchester for a good 6 or 7 months or something. So it's been a long time since we've played.
Sure. Was that like a conscious effort to sort of like branch away from like you say, you were birthed in Manchester, so you need to spread further afield?
Not necessarily, no. It's just we're kind of sort of not doing the one-off gigs that we used to do all the time. Was just thought, right, we're just going to concentrate on getting this album written, book a tour, book a European tour, and then that'll be the gigs rather than doing a one-off gig here, one-off gig there. Obviously, if it's a decent gig and whatnot, we will look at doing things like that, but that's the sort of the path we're taking at the minute. Anytime that isn't a tour is just going to be, we're already writing for the next album now, so we're just getting as much done before we die.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, I mean, you're saying you're already writing for the next album.
Yeah.
How's that sounding?
Sounding great. It's just like tickling stuff at the minute, but there's a bunch of ideas that we've got loosely just, demoed on a phone or something, but we keep revisiting them and working on them. And yeah, it's sounding good, man. Very weird, but good.
Great. So this will be my last question.
Yeah.
When you look back at the pre-melted on the inch material,
yeah,
how does that make you feel in comparison to how you're doing now?
I absolutely love it. It's because we just put our very first album, which was called Angular Beef Lesson, I think was recorded 10 years ago by ourselves. We just put that on Spotify now, and I had it on the other day. I've not listened to it in absolute years, but I was like, fucking hell, what is this?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is weird, but I got an enjoyment out of it.
Fantastic.
And next album, Carmen Influence of Teeth, we got that remastered, and because when we were on Holy Raw, they were going to reissue that, but I think Ripple are going to be doing it now. We're going to actually get that put on vinyl, which we've never done before. But
nice.
Yeah, we got that remastered when we've got that remastered, I've revisited that, and you just listen to it, and it's like it blows you away a little bit, because you just think, how the hell, how did we even write this mad shit? It's like completely off its tits.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Carmen Infants and Teeth is just completely off its head, but it's a great, weird listen.
It's a great album. It is a great album. Well, man, I won't take up any more of your sunny bank holiday.
Cool. How are you anyway, Squire?
Mate, I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well, thank you.
Where's the beard?
Oh, I had to trim it, mate. Well, I didn't have to, but with the sun coming out, you know, get a bit of colour on my cheeks, and then go back to the beard at winter. Right, folks. Family the Smiling Thrush is out on June the 4th through Ripple Music. Alex, cheers, dude.
All right, mate. Speak to you in a bit.
Yeah, ta-da.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.